This is Bruce Pelka. He's 72 years old, and he just did a pull-up with 90 pounds strapped to his waist. Most men his age can't get out of a chair without wincing. Bruce? He's doing things that would destroy men half his age. But here's what's crazy. 30 years ago, Bruce looked normal, average, unremarkable. So what changed? It wasn't steroids. It wasn't genetics. It wasn't some secret supplement stack. It was one decision he made at 40 years old that completely rewired his biology. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that decision was and how to apply it to your own life, no matter your age. But first, where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments. And if you want to build strength that lasts decades, not months, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what you're about to learn goes against everything the fitness industry has told you. Here's the lie. After 40, your testosterone drops, your muscle mass declines, your metabolism slows down. It's just biology. Wrong. Bruce is living proof that this is complete nonsense. At 72, his biological markers look like a man in his early 40s. His muscle density, bone strength, cardiovascular capacity, all of it defies what we've been told about aging. But here's the key. Bruce didn't fight aging. He redirected it. Let me explain. Most people approach fitness like a teenager. They train hard for 6 weeks, burn out, quit, and repeat this cycle for decades. Bruce did the opposite. He built a system so simple, so sustainable, that he never needed motivation. The system itself became the motivation. And the secret to that system comes down to one principle that most people completely misunderstand. Stress is not the enemy. Recovery is not optional. Your body doesn't get stronger in the gym. It gets stronger when you rest. But here's where it gets interesting. Bruce discovered that the type of stress you apply determines the quality of recovery you get. And the quality of your recovery determines whether you build muscle at 72 or break down into fragility. Most men Bruce's age are fragile because they've spent decades applying the wrong kind of stress to their bodies. They've lifted too heavy, too often, with too little recovery. Or they've done the opposite, barely moved at all, letting their muscles atrophy into weakness. Bruce found the middle path, and it's shockingly simple. Bruce wakes up at 6 a.m., not because he sets an alarm. His body just wakes up. No grogginess, no hitting snooze, no scrolling through his phone for 20 minutes. He gets up. And here's the first thing he does, and this is critical. He doesn't eat. He doesn't check email. He doesn't turn on the news. He moves. Light stretching, joint rotations, deep breathing. He's not working out yet. He's waking up his nervous system. Most people stumble out of bed, chug coffee, and wonder why they feel anxious and scattered all morning. Bruce does the opposite. He gives his body time to transition from sleep to activity. Why does this matter? Because your nervous system has 2 modes: sympathetic, fight or flight, stress, action; parasympathetic, rest, digest, repair. Most people live in sympathetic mode 16 hours a day. Their cortisol is chronically elevated. Their body never gets the signal to repair itself. Bruce starts his day in parasympathetic mode, calm, centered, present. This isn't woo-woo mindfulness stuff. This is biology. When your cortisol is low in the morning, your body prioritizes muscle repair and fat burning. When it's high, your body prioritizes survival, which means breaking down muscle tissue for energy. Bruce has trained his body to wake up in repair mode, not survival mode, and that sets the tone for everything that comes next. After 10 minutes of gentle movement, he drinks 16 ounces of water. Not coffee, water. Your body is dehydrated after 8 hours of sleep. Your blood is thick. Your cells are crying out for hydration. Most people dump caffeine into a dehydrated system and wonder why they crash at 2 p.m. Bruce rehydrates first. Then, and only then, he has his coffee. Black, strong, no sugar, no cream. And here's why this order matters. Caffeine on an empty, hydrated stomach triggers something called lipolysis, the breakdown of fat cells for energy. But if you eat breakfast first, or add sugar to your coffee, you spike insulin. And when insulin is high, fat burning stops completely. Bruce has been doing intermittent fasting for over 20 years, long before it became trendy. He doesn't eat until 11 a.m. That's a 17-hour fasting window every single day. And during those 17 hours, his body is doing something remarkable. It's cleaning itself. At 7 a.m., Bruce goes to the gym. But he doesn't do what you think. He doesn't follow a bodybuilding split. He doesn't do heavy squats or deadlifts. He doesn't spend 90 minutes grinding through supersets. He does one thing: pull-ups and push-ups. That's it. Here's his exact warm-up: 30 pull-ups, 30 push-ups, 25 pull-ups, 25 push-ups. Back and forth until he hits 100 of each. And he does this every single day. Now, most trainers would tell you this is overtraining, that you need rest days, that you'll burn out. Bruce has been doing this for 30 years. Why does it work? Because Bruce isn't training for strength. He's training for capacity. There's a difference. Strength training is about lifting the heaviest weight possible for low reps. It's about maxing out your nervous system. Capacity training is about doing high volumes of moderate intensity work. It's about building resilience. And resilience is what keeps you strong at 72. Here's the science. When you do high-rep bodyweight exercises daily, you're not tearing your muscles apart like a bodybuilder. You're creating micro-tears, tiny, manageable damage that your body can repair overnight. This constant cycle of low-level stress and rapid recovery does something extraordinary. It keeps your muscle protein synthesis elevated 24/7. Most people only get a muscle-building signal for a few hours after a workout. Then it shuts off until the next session. Bruce's body is in a constant state of micro-recovery. His muscles are always rebuilding, always adapting, always getting stronger. But here's where it gets even more interesting. After his bodyweight warm-up, Bruce does something that would make most trainers cringe. He straps on weight. 45 pounds, then 90 pounds. And he does weighted pull-ups. Heavy, controlled, full range of motion. At 72 years old, Bruce can do multiple pull-ups with 90 pounds hanging from his waist. How is this possible? Because he's built a foundation of capacity first. Most people try to lift heavy without building the structural integrity to support it. Their joints break down, their tendons snap, their spine compresses. Bruce spent decades building bulletproof connective tissue through high-rep bodyweight work. Now, when he adds weight, his body can handle it because the infrastructure is already there. But here's the key. He doesn't do this every day. The weighted pull-ups? Maybe twice a week. The rest of the time? Just body weight. He's not chasing strength for ego. He's maintaining strength for longevity. And that's the difference between looking strong at 72 and actually being strong at 72. After the workout, Bruce does something most people skip entirely. He doesn't just walk out of the gym and go about his day. He prepares his body for recovery. Here's his exact post-workout shake. 1 scoop of protein powder, 1 scoop of collagen peptides, 5 grams of creatine, mixed with water. That's it. No fancy ingredients, no proprietary blends, no $80 supplements. But each ingredient has a specific purpose. Protein provides the amino acids needed to repair muscle tissue. Collagen rebuilds connective tissue, tendons, and ligaments. This is why Bruce's joints still feel like they're 40, not 72. Creatine, the most researched supplement in history. It increases muscle strength, cognitive function, and cellular energy production. Bruce has been taking creatine daily for years. And here's what most people don't know. Creatine works better as you age. Why? Because older adults have lower natural creatine stores. Supplementing brings those levels back up, which improves muscle function, bone density, and even brain health. Studies show that creatine supplementation in older adults can increase muscle mass by 5 to 10%, improve strength by 15 to 20%, enhance cognitive performance, reduce age-related muscle loss. Bruce noticed the effects within weeks. His recovery improved. His energy stayed high throughout the day. His workouts felt easier. But here's the most important part of his recovery protocol. He doesn't train the same muscle groups 2 days in a row. Wait, didn't we just say he does pull-ups every day? Yes, but he varies the intensity. Some days he does 100 bodyweight reps, easy, controlled, almost meditative. Other days he does weighted sets, heavy, challenging, maximal effort. His body never knows what's coming, but it's always ready. This is called auto-regulation. Instead of following a rigid program, Bruce listens to his body. If his shoulders feel tight, he does more stretching and lighter reps. If he feels strong, he adds weight. This intuitive approach has kept him injury-free for 3 decades. Compare that to the average gym-goer who follows a strict program, ignores warning signs, and ends up with a torn rotator cuff at 50. Bruce's body trusts him because he listens to it. At 11 a.m., Bruce breaks his fast. Here's what he eats: 2 to 3 whole eggs, pasture-raised, sautéed peppers and onions, 1 whole avocado, salsa, homemade, no sugar, grated cheese, cooked in olive oil. Notice what's missing? No toast, no oatmeal, no fruit, no cereal. Bruce eats high-fat, moderate protein, low-carb. Why? Because fat doesn't spike insulin, and when insulin stays low, your body continues burning fat for fuel all day long. Most people eat a high-carb breakfast, pancakes, bagels, orange juice, and their insulin skyrockets. Their fat burning stops. Their energy crashes by 10 a.m. Bruce's breakfast keeps his insulin steady. His energy stays consistent. His mind stays sharp. But here's the most important part. He cooks everything in olive oil. Not seed oils, not vegetable oil, olive oil. This matters more than you think. Seed oils, canola, soybean, corn oil, are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which promote inflammation. Inflammation is the root cause of heart disease, arthritis, Alzheimer's, cancer, accelerated aging. Olive oil is high in omega-9 fatty acids and polyphenols, which reduce inflammation. Bruce has been avoiding seed oils for decades, and his blood work reflects it. 0 inflammation markers. At 72, his C-reactive protein, a measure of inflammation, is lower than most 30-year-olds. For lunch and dinner, Bruce follows the same template: a palm-sized portion of protein, wild-caught fish, grass-fed beef, or pasture-raised chicken. A pile of leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula. Healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts. Occasional low-glycemic carbs, sweet potato, berries. He doesn't count calories. He doesn't weigh his food. He eats until he's satisfied, not stuffed. And here's the key. He stops eating by 6:30 p.m. That gives his body a full 16.5 hours of fasting before his next meal. During those hours, his body shifts into autophagy, the cellular cleaning process we talked about earlier. His cells break down damaged proteins, recycle waste, and rebuild themselves stronger. This is why Bruce's skin looks 20 years younger than his age, why his energy stays high, why his mind stays sharp. He's not just eating for today, he's eating for the next 30 years. But Bruce's strength isn't just physical, it's mental. Every morning before he eats, Bruce does something that most people would find uncomfortable. He sits in silence and expresses gratitude. Not for 30 seconds, not as a rushed afterthought. He takes a full minute to genuinely thank God for his wife, his kids, his grandkids, his health. This isn't religious dogma. This is neuroscience. Gratitude practices have been shown to lower cortisol by up to 23%, increase dopamine and serotonin, your feel-good chemicals, improve heart rate variability, a marker of stress resilience, enhance sleep quality. Bruce's daily gratitude practice keeps his stress low and his recovery high. But there's something else Bruce does that most people overlook. He doesn't consume negativity. No doom scrolling, no 24-hour news cycle, no toxic social media arguments. He listens to jazz. He reads books. He plays guitar. His inputs are intentional. His outputs reflect that. You can see it in his face. He's not carrying the weight of the world. He's light, present, joyful. This is the part of longevity no one talks about. Your mindset determines your lifespan just as much as your diet and exercise. Studies on centenarians, people who live past 100, show that the common thread isn't genetics, it's optimism. People who maintain a positive outlook, a sense of purpose, and strong social connections live 7 to 10 years longer than pessimists. Bruce embodies this completely. He wakes up excited. He trains with purpose. He loves his wife deeply. He laughs easily. At 72, he's not just surviving, he's thriving. And that's the real secret. So let's bring this all together. Bruce Pelka isn't special because of his genetics. He's special because of his consistency. Here's his daily protocol. Morning. Wake up at 6 a.m., no alarm. Gentle stretching and breathing, 10 minutes. Drink 16 ounces of water, black coffee. Gym by 7 a.m. 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, body weight. Weighted pull-ups, 2 to 3 times per week. Post-workout. Protein plus collagen plus creatine shake. First meal, 11 a.m. A.M. Eggs, peppers, onions, avocado, olive oil. Lunch/dinner, 12 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Protein, greens, healthy fats, minimal carbs. Evening. Stop eating by 6:30 p.m. Creative hobbies, guitar, reading, time with wife. Gratitude practice. In bed by 10 p.m. Supplements. Creatine, 5 grams daily. Collagen, 1 scoop daily. Liquid turmeric, anti-inflammatory. CoQ10, heart health. Fasting. 16.5-hour daily fast, 24-hour fast, 2 to 3 times per month. That's it. No magic, no shortcuts. Just simple habits repeated for 30 years. And the result? A 72-year-old man who does 90-pound weighted pull-ups and looks 20 years younger than his age. Now here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing from Bruce's routine and commit to it for 30 days. Just one. Maybe it's fasting until 11 a.m. Maybe it's doing 20 push-ups every morning. Maybe it's cutting out seed oils. Maybe it's expressing gratitude before your first meal. Start small, stay consistent, and watch what happens. Drop a comment right now telling me which habit you're going to start. And if this video inspired you, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who needs to see this. Because Bruce's message is simple. Age is just a number. Strength is a choice. I'll see you in the next one.